and chemical handling. So what is PPE? PPE stands for personal protective equipment. It's worn to minimize exposure to hazards that cause serious workplace injuries and illnesses. The types of PPE that we use at Daigle includes gloves, safety glasses or goggles, closed-toed shoes, hard hats, and reflective vests. In order for PPE to be effective, we have to know how to properly use it. Gloves are an essential part of our services here at Daigle. We use gloves when cleaning in order to prevent hand contamination. We change our gloves often depending on which places we have cleaned on our sites. In between each change of your gloves, you should be washing your hands to prevent hand contamination. Please do not reuse gloves that had been used either the prior day or for different parts of your location. We also utilize reflective vests, which, as you can see, allow a wearer to be seen and to alert other people that they are present when there is low visibility. We also use safety glasses and goggles that protect against debris, impact, dust, mitts, splashes, and much more that may affect your eyes. We also use our closed-toed shoes, so no open-toe shoes, Crocs, slippers, or slides. You want to make sure that your shoes have proper traction when walking through your job site. This includes either sneakers or boots. We utilize hard hats on construction sites, which protect your head from falling objects and electrical shocks. PPE is an essential part of the organization, but also you are being exposed to chemicals on different parts of your job site. So these are the types of hazardous chemicals that you could be exposed to: corrosive, flammable, toxic, reactive, biological or infectious, carcinogenic or cancer causing, and radioactive. What can these hazardous materials look like? They come in many forms, including liquid, solid, gas, and vapors. They can also get into your body in many different ways. So some routes of exposure include inhalation through your breathing, ingestion through your digestive system, absorption through covering your skin, and injection through using a needle. Some symptoms of overexposure to chemicals include eye discomfort, dizziness, headache, nausea, vomiting, and some other effects can be seen on the picture in the middle of the slide. In order to make sure that we minimize your exposure to chemicals, we have a couple of ways that you can do so. The first is to use caution. Always be cautious when utilizing chemicals on your job site. Always follow procedures. We have SOPs in place in order to keep you safe, to make sure that you are fulfilling the scope of work and doing it to the Daigle standard. Read all labels prior to using any chemicals. Read the label and make sure it's the chemical that you should be utilizing for a given task. Keep yourself and your workplace or closet clean. Keeping yourself clean will reduce exposure to certain chemicals, as well as keeping your closet clean, which will help to organize and keep certain chemicals from each other, but also help you to align with planning ahead, which will be your next step. And here we have a few general safety tips for chemical handling. Never smell or taste a chemical to identify it. Read the label and make sure you know what the chemical is. If you cannot read the label or there is no label, please let your supervisor or manager know so that we may deal with this immediately. Know all emergency procedures and equipment. Emergency procedures is something that we will go over in the next slide. Always read labels prior to use, as we've gone over. Store all hazardous chemicals properly. This goes on along with our closet SOP, where we are storing things in their proper places and setting it up in a way that you will know where everything is at. And last but not least, always use hazardous chemicals as intended. Chemicals that we use on the job sites are important and they each have a certain use. Use them as intended. If you ever experienced a chemical emergency, here are some things that you would like to know. You should know the emergency phone numbers, including the chemical exposure hotline at 1-800-222-1222 or 911 if there's an emergency in terms of adverse reaction. Also, you want to know how to control the spill. In case that any of your chemicals do fall on the floor or other parts of your site, you would want to know how to clean those up. If the spill is beyond your control, you should keep in mind any exit routes or exit signs that are in your site and know how to shut down any equipment that uses chemicals as well. In conclusion, PPE is an important part of what we do here as a cleaning company. There are different types of PPE required on your job site. If you do not know which type of PPE is required on your job site, please reach out to a supervisor or manager and they will let you know what is needed. Proper chemical handling is very necessary. We utilize PPE in order to do so, and we also utilize the safety tips that you have seen here. There are a bunch of different types of chemicals that you may be exposed to, and they can cause adverse reactions. In this case, you want to allude to our emergency measures in order to deal with these. And if there is an uncontrollable spill at your workplace, you now know the steps to take. I hope that we as a company will continue to take these into consideration in order to assure that you are safe at your workplace. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video, and I hope that you have a great day.